Stop! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! Stop reaching! Stop reaching!
What's going on? It's my life in the shot. I'm your host, Donald Washington. That was the police shooting August 12, 2022 on the 2100 block of West Adams Street. The young man that was shot, his name is Raymond Coleman, 37 years old. He is paralyzed. The officer that shot him is Officer Fernando Ruiz. Remember that name because he's the exact same officer 8 months later shot and killed Reginald Clay Jr., 24 years old, in Lawndale. I'm going to bring you guys this shooting. Check out this shooting. Now, I am not bringing you guys this as a race baiting video. If I see it's legit, I call it out. It's legit, or I just skip the video. If it's some BS, I will be gladly open to say this is some BS, and here's what I see. All right, now, what do I see in this video? This young man is chilling right there. They saw him with the gun on the pod cam. He does not know he's being pursued. So he jump in his car. Now, remind you the initial shock when somebody pull up on you. So he's about to pull off or just pull his car up, and all of a sudden, cops jump out. He don't know what they on. They don't know what they doing. He don't know who they are. They in unmarked cars, and all of a sudden, beep, 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 and they unload on this young man. So now look at him crawl out the other side, and they over there. That's going to be very relevant because watch this. This is from the officer's viewpoint right here. This is the officer's viewpoint. This is his body camera from what the officer sees. As soon as the officer spread up, bing, 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 bing. He's unloading on them already.
Stop! Stop reaching! Stop reaching!
His windows are tinted. His door is closed. And the officer is yelling, stop reaching, stop reaching. You can't even see if he's reaching or not. You can't see anything. We are seeing the exact same thing that the officer is seeing. Now let me wind this back. So the officers are riding up on him to the scene. This is a little bit between. You can see the officer in the back. That's him. He got his hand on the door because he about to jump out on him. The officer, the windows are deeply tinted. He cannot see. So look, this is what the officer sees. He cannot see him do anything. Do so and close the door. The officer cannot see him. So the officer cannot see anything. Bing, 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 bing. Already unloading. Bing, 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 bing. Already unloading.
Stop!
How do we know that the officer can't see nothing? This is going to give it away right
Stop reaching! 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 Can you see? Can you see? Ask your partner.
The young man has crawled out the other side of the car. And you're yelling, can you see? Can you see? Because you honestly can't see. But you unloading on him. So if you cannot see him, why are you yelling, stop reaching? A lot of times police officers do this, and I see it. I brought you guys several videos. There was a young man in a car with his girlfriend in the back. She was recording. Dude said, hey, officer, I have a weapon in the car. The officer said, you have a weapon in the car? Boom, 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 boom. Why'd you do that? He was reaching. Soon as they know you have a weapon in the car, it's your word against theirs. They can easily say, oh, he's reaching for that gun. I mean, you can't see what, even if you do this, that could be considered reaching. If you do this, reaching. Nobody can predict where your arm went. So officer can easily say, that's why I say, if you got concealed carry, do not tell them you got a gun in the car. Do not tell them. It's their job to search that car and find it. Because as soon as you say you got a gun, boom! Why'd you shoot him? He was reaching. And nobody can prove it. You cannot prove it, even if your arm do like this, because he was shocked. He was like, oh, whoa, who is this riding up on me? So as soon as your arm do like this, or like, whoa, that could be considered reaching. But the young man is crawled out the other side of the road.
You got him! 2150!
Got him? Not even in the car. Let me see your hands. He's crawled out.
Reaching!
Right, so officers saw the young man on the pod camera and conducted a traffic stop in which they saw a man armed with a gun. At that point, the officer fired their weapon and struck the man. The video released by Copa Thursday shows Officer Fernando jump out of the squad car and immediately start shooting on this young man. immediately. All right. Police said Copa, the young man, was reaching for a gun, but Copa said both his hands was on the wheel. What are you talking about? Copa lately pleaded guilty to a gun charge because they did find the gun in the car. He is now suing the city for excessive force. 8 months after the shooting of which Copa was wounded, Officer Ruiz was involved in which the shooting of Reginald Clay, which ended up ending the life of Reginald Clay. So 8 months later, after this shooting, another young man is shot and his life is lost. In this case, look at this. So watch this.
Police shot and killed a 24-year-old, Reginald Clay Jr., 3 weeks ago in Lawndale. Today, the police body camera video was released by the police oversight agency, Copa.
It offers some clarity on the moment the shot was fired, but as CBS 2's Chris Ty tells us, other questions linger over why police chased him in the first place. And we want to warn you, some of the video is hard to watch.
A police chase that lasted 15 seconds. There's no audio, and there's also no clear picture of what happened in the moments before the chase. But when 24-year-old Reginald Clay Jr. runs into a dead end of a gangway here, the video shows him turning towards the officer, pulling a gun from his waistband, and we are stopping the tape before that fatal shot by police.
Reaching into the waistband or pocket, immediate danger, and when the gun appears and the man is still advancing, that makes the shooting appear reasonable.
Clay's family says there's evidence he was trying to surrender as he places his gun on a nearby deck as he collapsed. But use of force expert David Harris says that won't carry weight in the punishment or possible criminal charges against the officer.
Now, maybe he was going to put that on the deck, but the officer wouldn't know that at the time. That is going to make this decision to shoot seem to be in the category of objectively reasonable, which is the legal standard.
CPD also has standards on police foot chases, and that may prove to be the larger question. Police were monitoring a group blurred out in that video released, part of what was called a de-escalation mission after a gang killing nearby 1 week prior. But why did they pursue Clay in the first place? The family says CPD doesn't have an answer for that.
No reason at all. No reason at all to chase him. None.
In documents released, the officer's paperwork of the incident checked a box indicating the initiating factor of that foot pursuit was reasonable, articulable suspicion, but no explanation of what that suspicion was.
Copa is continuing to investigate this case. The officer who fired that fatal shot has no history of misconduct. The family, meantime, has sued the city in federal court, calling this a case of excessive.
So this is why the foot pursuit regulations have changed, because it only costs more lives. Cops know that young men who are hustling on the corners or have guns or whatever, they try to run and throw them. However, in the past, a lot of cops would chase somebody and they'll try to throw the gun and boom, 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 boom. Cops say, up, see, there go a gun right there. See, he had a gun right there. See, I had to use it. I fear for my life. See, a gun right there. And people were like, yo, we ain't buying it. Cop knew his training, knew he was not supposed to be pursuing someone, running away or walking away. In this particular case, they're calling it a de-escalation situation where somebody a week or two ago got hurt and they just jump out on everybody, his ops, so to say, or whatever, whoever in the neighborhood or in the next neighborhood. So he over there. Group you looking at is over there. So do you hear that the cop says, the news guy says he has no history of misconduct, but 8 months ago, this was the shooting. Also, what I want to point out is that, you know, that young man, what happens a lot of times when young men are standing on the block, standing on the corner, this is why it's a terrible idea. Definitely get your concealed carry, because if you are hanging out with your partners and you live in a very dangerous city, it is a very good idea to have a pistol, but only if it's legit. If it's not legit, do not have a gun, because if the cops think that you have one, a lot of times these youngsters run and try to throw it so that they can't get caught with it and get that felony charge and do a lot of time in jail. So a lot of times when the police ride up like that and jump out, a lot of young men run, toss that weapon, and the cops know that. However, that young man ran into a brick wall and grabbed the gun, was probably trying to throw it, and the cops was waiting for him right there. And before he could even react, I did several other videos like that one, where a young man threw threw the gun behind the fence, and he turned around with his hands up. Boom! And the cop didn't wait a single second. The cop saw him throw the gun. The young man turned around. Boom! Cop had him right there. And the young man had his hands, both hands in the air, right there, smack in the middle. This cop hit him right there. Boom. Ended the young man. Anyway, I wanted to bring you guys this story because when the cop pulled up, those windows were highly tinted. That window was barely, that car door was barely cracked. When he's pulling up, he looks up and see a cop, closes the door. The cop jumps out. The cop can't see anything at that point. But you're hearing them, stop reaching. Cops do that to sell it to anybody that's filming, anybody that's watching. And because when you hear it, stop reaching, so the outside looking in, that guy must be reaching. I had several cops take my arm and pull it and almost break it. And I gotta move because my arm is gonna be broken. And the cop is yelling, stop resisting. And I'm like, what? You're the one pulling my arm. He knows that, I know that. But the outside, if you're watching or if you're filming, you don't know that. So you're looking like he must be resisting if the cop is yelling. They are taught to sell that. So if you're yelling, stop reaching. And in your jury, you're thinking, oh, the cop must see him resisting. But that cop didn't see anything because the cop had to ask everybody else, y'all see him? Y'all see? Because you don't even know the young man that crawled out the other side of the car. So if you couldn't see, we couldn't see from that body cam, and we seeing what you seeing. Granted, you got a slight angle, but that young man from the other angle, that young man closed that door. So as soon as you pulled up, he closed the door. So how is he reaching? So how is he driving, closing the door, and reaching? So you got your arm on the car, you got the car door. So you see the cop pull up, you close the door. So you mean to tell me he's reaching? So there, of course, I don't know the from what I understand, I believe they already ruled it justified. From what I understand, okay, the young man had a gun. I believe they probably ruled it justified. However, I think this particular cop, that was excessive force in my opinion, because you couldn't see a thing. And when cops understand you got a gun in there, they got an excuse already. Ain't nothing they can say. All they can say is, hey, well, he was reaching. And a jury or a Copa or nobody. And in this case, Copa did recommend this cop be fired. They recommended him to be fired. Has he been fired? I do not know. But I am definitely looking forward to seeing if this cop was ever fired. But anyway, you guys let me know what you think. Make sure you go to YouTube. My Life in the Shy, My Life in CHI. Peace, y'all.
See on fire, ooh, down to the wire. My life in the shy, ooh, it's my life in the shy.